Once upon a time, in the heart of a land where the sun rose like a golden drum in the sky, and the trees danced to the song of the wind, there was a small, lively place called Armagh Village. Armagh was a beautiful village surrounded by thick forests, wide rivers, and farmland stretching like giant green mats. Roosters crowed at dawn, women sang songs as they carried clay pots to the stream, and children chased after butterflies in the open fields. In this same village, there lived a young man named Paul. Paul was no ordinary man. He was tall, with shoulders broad like the strong iroko tree. His hands were firm and calloused from many years of working on his father's farmland. People often called him Paul the Great Farmer because no one in Armagh Village could farm as well as he did. His yam tubers were as big as a baby goat. His cassava plants grew as tall as a man. Everyone admired him. Paul lived with his only sister, Mata. She was a sharp-tongued woman, with eyes like those of a hawk, always watching everyone's business. If a cock sneezed at midnight, Mata would know. If a woman quarreled with her husband, Mata would be the first to hear. She was known for her loud voice and her habit of carrying gossip like a market basket. But above all, she was overprotective of her brother. Mata had a close friend, Ngozi, a young girl with small, sharp eyes and a long neck like a grass cutter standing tall in the bush. Ngozi was fair-skinned and slender. But though she was quiet, there was something about her face that made people whisper behind her back. Now, for many seasons, Mata had made up her mind that Paul would marry Ngozi. She believed that if her brother married her friend, she would have control over their home. She wanted a wife who would respect her and run to her for advice. And so, she started her secret plan. Every morning before the cock crowed twice, Mata would wake Ngozi up, clapping her hands like a town crier. "Wake up, my friend. Go and sweep the compound before Paul my brother will wakes, wash his clothes, fetch water from the stream and fill his clay pots, prepare hot pepper soup, add enough uziza and scent leaves. Let him see you as a hard-working girl, because men love hard-working girls." Ngozi, though sometimes grumbling in her heart, would get up quickly. She would sweep the compound until there was no dust. She would carry heavy pots from the stream, sweating like a Christmas goat. She would wash Paul's clothes until her fingers shrank like old okra in hot soup. Sometimes, she would pluck fresh ugu leaves and cook a hot pepper soup so spicy that even the aroma would make a blind man see. Paul noticed all these things, but his heart did not move. Whenever Ngozi brought food or water to Paul, she would kneel and greet him. "Good morning, my husband-to-be." Paul would look at her, force a smile, and say politely, "Thank you, Ngozi." But in his heart, he felt nothing. If love were rain, his heart was as dry as a dusty road in Harmattan. After weeks of watching this drama, Paul decided it was enough. One evening, as the sun was falling behind the hills and the birds were singing their last song for the day, Paul called his sister into his room. "Mata," Paul began, his voice deep and serious like the village gong, "come closer. I want to talk to you." Mata, wiping her face with the edge of her wrapper, sat down. "What is it, my brother? Is it about Ngozi? Has she finally won your heart?" Paul shook his head. "Mata, listen to me well. I do not love Ngozi. No matter what she does, whether she sweeps this whole compound, fetches water from 7 rivers, or cooks soup with 100 bushmeats, my heart will never love her. Stop sending her to do all these things. Let her rest." Mata's face changed. Her lips tightened. Her eyes narrowed like a cat that has seen a rat. Inside her heart, fire was burning, but she swallowed her anger. She didn't want Paul to see her true feelings. "Is that what you called me for?" she asked coldly. "Yes," Paul replied. Mata turned around, adjusted her wrapper, hissed so loudly that even the birds on the mango tree flew away, and stormed out of the room. That night, Mata called Ngozi to the back of the house, under the big orange tree. "That foolish brother of mine has lost his senses," she fumed. "But don't worry. Leave him for now. The gods will shame him. I have not given up yet." Ngozi nodded silently, biting her lips, her face full of anger. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. One bright afternoon, when the sky was as blue as the river's belly and the road was empty because most people were at their farms, Paul was on his way to check his cassava fields. He whistled a happy tune, swinging his cutlass on his shoulder. Suddenly, from a narrow bush path, he heard the sharp, angry barking of a dog. Woof! 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 A girl was running, panting, her scarf falling off. Behind her was a wild, brown dog, its teeth sharp like broken bottles. Without thinking twice, Paul dropped his cutlass and ran towards them. "Hey! Hey! Wee! Wee!" he shouted, picking up a stick and chasing the dog. The dog, seeing a man with a stick, barked once more and fled into the bushes. The girl, breathing heavily, fell to the ground. Thank you, sir," she whispered, her voice soft like palm wine. Paul helped her up. "Are you hurt?" he asked, brushing the dust off her wrapper. "No, I'm fine. The dog, it was chasing me. I don't know why." "You're safe now," Paul smiled. The girl looked up at Paul. Their eyes met. Something sparked like dry wood meeting fire. "My name is Sarah," she said, her cheeks blushing like ripe mangoes. "I'm Paul," he replied, feeling a strange warmth in his heart. They stood there for a moment, both silent, the cool wind whistling through the trees. Sarah thanked him again and walked away, looking back twice. That night, Paul could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Sarah's face. He dreamt of her fetching water, laughing, running through fields of ripe yams. His heart danced like masquerades during New Yam festivals. For a whole week, Paul lost focus at the farm. His workers gossiped. "Ogre Paul no day concentrate again," one said. "Maybe one village girl don catch 'em," another replied. Paul could no longer bear it. One bright morning, he asked an old man in the village square where Sarah lived. The old man pointed. Paul went to her house. Sarah was surprised, shy, but happy. They talked for hours under the mango tree. They laughed. They shared stories. And so began a love story that would shake the entire Amar village to its roots. But before I continue with the story, I want to thank all my wonderful subscribers and viewers for your love and support. If this is your first time here, or you've been watching without subscribing, please hit that subscribe button and join the family. We would love to have you. Thank you once again. Now, let's continue with the story. Paul told his sister about Sarah. Mata's face darkened like a stormy sky. "That girl," Mata hissed. "She has no family name, no land, no wealth. She's not even beautiful like Ngozi." But Paul's mind was made up. He married Sarah in a grand village wedding. Drums beat, palm wine flowed like river, old women danced with broken waists. However, Mata was not happy. She carried her anger like a burning coal in her heart. Sarah tried to win her heart. She cooked for her, fetched water, even gifted her new wrappers. But Mata's heart was hard like an old tortoise shell. Years passed. Sarah became pregnant. The entire village was excited. Even the old men at the square shook their heads, saying, "Good things are happening in Amar village." Then, tragedy struck. One afternoon, a man ran from the farm, shouting, "Paul! Paul is dead!" The village ran to the farm. They found Paul's lifeless body. A dangerous snake had bitten him while he harvested yams. His cutlass was still in his hand. The village wept. Sarah, heavily pregnant, cried till her voice was gone. That same night, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. But her world was empty. The man she loved was gone. From that day, Mata's wickedness grew. She took Paul's farmland, leaving Sarah and her baby with nothing. The rooster crowed loudly in Amar village that early morning. The soft mist rolled over the brown roofs of the mud houses. Women were already sweeping their compounds, children were chasing after chickens, and the smell of fresh firewood smoke rose to the sky. But one compound remained unusually quiet. It was the house where Sarah lived with her little baby, after the death of her husband, Paul. Sarah had woken up early as usual. Her eyes were heavy with sadness. Even though many years had passed since Paul died, the pain still sat in her heart like a stone. She looked at her sleeping baby boy, Obi, his little chest rising and falling softly. She smiled weakly and whispered, "My son, one day you will be great." As she prepared to start her chores, she heard a loud, sharp voice. "Sarah." It was Mata, Paul's elder sister. Sarah rushed out, quickly tying her wrapper. "Good morning, Sister Mata," Sarah greeted with a bow. "Who is your sister?" "Goat. Did you forget to sweep the compound? Look at everywhere, dirty. I don't know why Paul brought a lazy woman like you to this house," Mata shouted, her face tight with anger. Sarah bent her head in silence. She had learnt never to argue with Mata. Whenever she did, it always ended in insults and sometimes even slaps. "I'll sweep it now," Sarah replied quietly. "Better do it fast, useless woman." Mata barked and walked inside. As Sarah swept, villagers passing by could hear Mata's loud voice scolding Sarah. Gossip began to fly. "Hey, have you seen how Mata is treating Sarah? That woman no get fear one woman said to another. After all the good things Sarah did for her when Paul was alive. God is watching, another woman added. "Chai! The world is wicked," an old man muttered as he passed. Sarah finished sweeping, fetched firewood, washed clothes, prepared food for Mata, and still had to go to the farm with Obi tied to her back. Yet, Mata gave her only a small plate of watery soup to eat in the evening. One dry afternoon, Sarah's baby began to cry from hunger. There was no water in the house because they had run out since morning, and Mata was sleeping inside. Sarah went to the clay pot to take a little water for Obi. As Sarah lifted the pot cover, Mata suddenly appeared like a snake. "You this thief! You're drinking my water without my permission," Mata shouted. "Please, Sister Mata. The baby is thirsty. He has been crying," Sarah pleaded. "So, is it my fault you gave birth to a child without a father? Oya, go to the stream now and fetch water for me. If you like, don't come back with clean water." Sarah's heart dropped. It was Sunday. Everyone in Amar village knew it was forbidden to fetch water from the stream on Sunday. The river goddess was said to be dangerous on such days. But if she refused, Mata would throw her out with her child. Tears filled Sarah's eyes. She picked the clay pot and started walking towards the lonely stream path. Her legs trembled. The wind whistled through the trees. Every crackle of dry leaves sounded like footsteps following her. As she reached the stream, she whispered to the river, "Oh beautiful river, please don't be angry with me. I know it is Sunday. My sister-in-law sent me. I beg you, let me fetch this water and go in peace." Sarah sang softly as she fetched the water. "River goddess, mother of water, your daughter is here. Please pity me. I bring no trouble, I come with peace. Let me fetch and leave in peace." Just as she was about to leave, an old woman with long grey hair sitting by the riverside called out, "My daughter, please, Give me water. I am thirsty." Sarah, though afraid, quickly gave her some water from her pot. The old woman drank and smiled. "You are kind. Many people have passed me today and none stopped. You gave me water even though you are afraid. Go into my hut over there, choose one basket, take it home and open it alone." Sarah hesitated. "Go, my child," the old woman encouraged. Sarah entered the small hut made of palm leaves and saw 3 baskets, one small, one medium, and one very big. She remembered her mother's words, "A greedy heart brings trouble." She picked the small one and thanked the old woman before heading home. When she reached home, she secretly opened the basket. Her eyes widened. It was filled with gold, diamond, and shiny coins. Sarah fell to her knees. "Thank you, Lord," she cried. The news spread fast in Amar village. Mata, when she heard, was burning with jealousy. Come, let's go to the stream now." "Ah, but it's Sunday," Ngozi replied. "Shut up. Do you want to remain poor while Sarah becomes rich? Let's go." They both carried large clay pots and rushed to the stream. When they saw the old woman, she called them. "Daughters, please give me water," she begged. Out of greed, they both rushed to give her water, not because they cared, but because they wanted gold too. The old woman smiled coldly. "Go inside and pick one basket," she said. Both of them ran inside and fought over the biggest basket. "Leave it for me," Ngozi shouted. "No, it's mine." Mata pushed her aside. Finally, they dragged the biggest basket outside. Laughing happily, they carried it home, locked themselves in, and opened it. Ah! A swarm of wild, angry bees burst out. The bees chased them all over the compound. Mata and Ngozi ran, fell, screamed, and jumped into dirty gutters. Villagers gathered and laughed. "Serves them right. Greedy women." They wanted to outsmart the gods, an old woman spat. After that day, Sarah became rich. She moved out of the old house into a fine house in the city. She built a big house in the village for widows and helped many poor people. Her son, Obi, grew up to be a great man, a famous doctor who treated the sick for free. Mata and Ngozi became poor and lonely. No one wanted to marry them or give them food. Lessons learnt. In life, kindness opens doors no man can shut, while greed leads to destruction. Do not maltreat others because of their situation. What belongs to a man will surely find him. Be content, be good to people around you, because one day your good heart will be rewarded. A wise question for you. If you were Sarah, would you have risked your life to fetch water on Sunday or refused and faced Mata's anger? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The end.